welcome to my channel. My name is Juliet Tamika, and I am going to be talking about something that is a big part of my life today, and it's the military. So I've been in the military for a while now, a decade. Like when I first joined, first of all, I didn't see myself here, and second of all, I mean, in my back of my mind, I'm like, I'll do 20, but being at 10 is even like, woo, like where'd the time go? Like, I feel like I just graduated high school. So this video is going to be for those who are interested in joining the military. They want to know a little bit more about it, maybe from a female's perspective, a black female's perspective, some of the options that you have available to you as being a military member, especially in the Air Force. And I just want to be just like, a little reference, maybe give you guys some guidance. If you decide that this is something that you want to do, definitely stay tuned. Okay, so like I said, I joined the military when I was, actually I didn't say that 10 years ago, but I was 19 when I joined the military. So do the math. I've been in for a while now. I'm like getting up there. When you first join, it's kind of like, you're like such like a baby to it. And like technically I was kind of still a baby. I was a teenager, I was 19 years old. So when I first joined, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know, a lot of things about life that I didn't know. Like I said, I'm from a small town, so like the military really opened me up to this whole new world. So I'm in the Air Force. I am a comm personnel, so my AFSC, which is the Air Force Specialty Code, the Army calls it MOS, is 3D1X1. That means I'm a client systems supervisor now. I'm actually a flight chief for the section that I work in now, so that's a big change from when I first joined in, when I was a young airman, joining the Air Force. So I had some background information about the Air Force. I was in JROTC all 4 years when I was in high school, and when I did it, I didn't think that I was going to actually join the Air Force. I did it because it was easy. It was easy credit after my first year, and I didn't want to do PE, so that's why I did ROTC. I was like, I don't work out every day. I'd rather just wear a uniform once a week, and we work out with that like that. So, and I think I had some mentors who were like, hey, you should do ROTC, so thankful for them because it's definitely helped me now. So I did JROTC for 4 years, and when I decided to join the Air Force, like it was kind of like a last minute thing, even though I had been in the JROTC for 4 years. So I planned on going to college. Every school that I applied to, I got accepted, but there was a lot of stuff going on in my life. My mom was sick, like didn't really have the monies. I actually was going to go join the reserve, but the reserve recruiter was like an hour away, and it was just a lot for me to travel back and forth to speak to them, and I felt like they weren't really giving me the time of day. And since I did know the recruiter from my hometown, who was the active duty recruiter, once I like weighed all my options, I was just like, I'll just talk to him and I'll see about going in the Air Force full-time as opposed to part-time with the reserves. So that's exactly what I did. I did that. I had taken the ASVAB. It was like a part of one of the classes. Like I took it, but I didn't really like put a whole bunch of time. I didn't study for anything. I just took the ASVAB, but I scored well enough to be able to A, join the Air Force, and B, have a lot of good jobs available to me. So I scored a 79 as like my overall score, which isn't bad at all. So with that, I talked to the recruiter. He told me that, I was in the DEP program for like 6 months. So I graduated in June, but June of 2009, but I didn't join until January 2010 is when I actually like left for the Air Force. So within that time, I was still working and everything like that. Then I finally joined. So boot camp. Boot camp for me was very interesting. So like, I felt like a lot of the girls in my flight, they were just scary. Like they were scared of everything. So like me and like 5 other people, like I remember my TI calling us in the room, and he was like, you ladies have attitudes. Y'all need to fix your attitudes, blah, blah, blah. And we're all looking at each other like, okay. But I mean, cause like I feel like all the other girls were scared to do anything, so like he would run in the room and they'd just like shiver and silent, but we would just be like, all right, like I've been yelled at my whole life, like my family is loud, like I'm not a stranger to being yelled at and stuff like that. So that didn't really faze me. What I remember most about basic training is that for some reason, the time frame that I went in, it was super cold in Texas. Like, you think Texas is gonna be hot, but when I went to basic training, January through March, it was cold. So there was a lot of days that we didn't PT because it was too cold outside. Air Force guys. We didn't PT because it was too cold outside. We they would come in and our TIs would just wreck our whole dorm, and we'd have to fix everything. Like the beds would be thrown everywhere, mattress, he'll take stuff out of people's drawers, socks and stuff. So we did that a lot, basically like fixing the room, cleaning up basically is what I remember a lot. We had a lot of class time. We didn't do combat type stuff, no pugil sticks when I was in basic training because it was so cold. And they canceled a lot of things. We did do the obstacle course, but I think they took out the water. We didn't do the water parts because it was cold outside. So like basic training for me was low-key a breeze. Like back then I was kind of lazy. So like I think I failed to run the first time because I thought I did all the last, but he was like, no, you still have one more. So I was like defeated in my head. I was like, I can't do this. But I ran the last one and I did pass the first time, and then I passed the second time because I'm here. But yeah, like it wasn't bad. Air Force basic training is not bad. It's only, I believe it's 6 weeks. I believe it's only 6 weeks. It may be 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, which is not a long time at all. Oh, I also remember going to church. Like you went to church on Sunday just to get out of the dorms, like to get away from everybody. And church is where even if you really didn't like a person in your flight, but you all sit together, like everybody was crying. There's these songs that they sing. Letters from Home was like, if you go look that up on YouTube, Letters from Home, like that, as soon as you start hearing that song, you're like in tears, like it was crazy. But church like kind of kept us like week to week, like, and while we were there, they would tell us that, you know, this is like a little bit of your life. Like, I think it's 8 weeks. I think it's 8 weeks. This 8 weeks is this amount of your life. Like you have all of, you know, your life. If you look at your life on a scale, this is not that much time. You can do this, like you can get through this. So that really helped me get through that. But basic training was easy, man. Basic training was a breeze. So my tech school is what we call it. My technical school was in Keesler, Mississippi. So after basic training, I left from San Antonio, went to Keesler, and that's where my basic training was. So me being there, a lot of people love that area, but I did not like it when I was there. I hated Keesler for some reason. I didn't like it. Like I wasn't old enough to drink. Like school was cool. Like I'm low-key a nerd, so like this class and stuff was cool. Like I aced all my tests, like will make like some of the highest grades in my tests. So like the testing part was easy, but I think I definitely missed home. I missed my family. I was dating a guy at the time who actually came and moved with me while I was in tech school. I highly do not recommend that at all if you plan on joining, but he moved to Mississippi while I was there, and we had an apartment. So like I was like living in the dorms, but I also had an apartment off base. It was wild, so I did that. But tech school wasn't bad. For me, it was only supposed to be 2 months, but when I joined, like my career field was fairly new, so they didn't have like a lot of slots for the classes, or you had to wait a while. So they had something called AFI, awaiting further instructions. So basically like for the first 2 months, 3 months I was there, I think, I cleaned up. I cleaned around the base. Like literally I was getting paid to like clean up, do yard work and stuff like that. That was my first couple months at tech school. After tech school, while in tech school, I found out where my first base was going to be, and the majority of the people in my class, we were getting overseas bases. Mine happened to be Germany. So my first base was Ramstein, Germany. I was nervous but excited at the same time, but then, you know, my boyfriend was there, so I was like, so what are we gonna do? Like, he's living with me now, like you're living with me now. The only way that you're gonna be able to go with me is if we get married. I don't recommend that either. Do not get married based off location. Do not get married just because you want to be with somebody and you haven't met. I mean, I knew him longer. I didn't meet him in tech school. Like we were from the same hometown, but I would highly not recommend that. Like go see the world. You can do it. You're a big girl. You can do it by yourself, and you know there'll be other people just like you. And that's what I realized once I got there. Not to say that at the time, like in my mind, like this was the person I want to be with the rest of my life. I could do marriage, blah blah blah. Hindsight is always 20/20 though, so definitely don't recommend that. But me getting Germany as my first base, like I loved it. Those were like my college days. I loved it. I met my best friends 10 years ago in Germany. We still talk now to this day. We're all doing different things. Some of us are still in the military, some of us are not, some of us are planning on getting out of the military. So it's been great, like that experience as a whole. And I was there for 3 years. I didn't live in the dorm, so I was off base automatically because I was married. So that was a different experience. All my friends were in the dorm, so like I would go to the dorms with them, hang out. We would go to the club in Germany. It was amazing. Like while I was there too, I just didn't a party. Like I did a lot as far as career wise. So in the Air Force, they have something called Senior Airman Below the Zone, and it's where you can make E4 6 months in advance. So I came in as an E3 because of my JROTC years. They counted towards my time in the military. So instead of coming as an E1, I came in as an E3 as soon as I graduated tech school. And then, so from E3 to E4, it's supposed to be 28 months that you're supposed to wait before you put that next rank on. But I made Senior Airman Below the Zone, so I put them on 22 months. So that puts me at like a little bit over 2 years in, or a little bit less than 2 years in. I was an E4. So that was amazing. I was happy that I did that, I accomplished that. I was able to get my CCAF, which is the Community College of the Air Force, an associate degree that you can get based on your career field. So I got that while I was there. So I was grinding, like I was working. I was a stellar airman. Like I was getting promoted, you know, getting my degree, finishing, taking classes. So that was really good. Actually, before I left Ramstein, also since I made E4 early, I was able to test for E5, and I made that my first time. So in 3 years, I had ranked up twice. Yeah, 3 years in the military period, I had ranked up twice. I was had my associate's degree. Like I was killing the game. Like I was killing the game. While I was in Germany, I traveled to a lot of different places. That's where like my travel bug really I got bit then, basically. Like I love to travel. So while I was there, I traveled to Paris, France. I traveled to Alicante, Spain. I went to Luxembourg, Prague. I went to Amsterdam. I went to Croatia, Greece, Turkey on this week-long cruise to those places. I'm pretty sure I might be forgetting something, but yeah, I love to travel, and basically like the military set me up for that. So me being stationed in Germany as my first base, it definitely set me up to travel. So while I was there, I was still married and everything. Things wasn't really working out. So by the time I got back to the States, my second base, I was only in Germany for 3 years, was Herbert Field, Florida, which is amazing. Like if you haven't been to Destin, Fort Walton Beach area, like it is very beautiful, like the best beaches in the world. And I've been to a lot of beaches, but it has one of the best beaches in the world. So that was my first base. My second base. And shortly after I was there, that's when I got divorced. I mean, no hard feelings, but it just wasn't what I wanted, and it just wasn't working. So we got divorced. And then I also bought my first home. I was 22 at this time, so I got there in 2013, September 2013, and I bought my first home in December. I turned 23 like a couple weeks after I bought my first home, which was a dream of mine, and I did not think that it would happen that fast, honestly. Like 22-year-old with a house, and it was just me. I mean, I was married at the time, but I was buying the house. So yeah, that's something that the military definitely afforded me. Like I was able to use my VA loan to purchase the home, no money down. I didn't pay for any closing costs, and the way the military works, like one of the benefits is that you get, you know, BAH, so base assistance housing. So basically they pay you to rent a house, buy a house, whatever the case may be. They give you money to live in addition to your base pay. They also give you money for food. So being a stellar airman and great learner that I am, there was a chief which is E9, who came to me right before I left. He was like, wherever you go, purchase a house. Like it doesn't have to be your dream home, just purchase a house. Like that's an investment. So that's exactly what I did in my first base as soon as I got there. So September I got there, I rented a monthly apartment, and then I got in contact with the realtor, and as soon as I was, you know, I got feet on the ground, basically. I was looking for a house, and I found one. And I love my little house in Florida. Like, I'm a landlord now. Like, I have tenants there, so that's awesome. That was this 2020, 2013? It's been almost 7 years since I bought a house. Go you. Anywho, that was definitely a benefit of the military. If I was in the military, that was I doubt that had been happening. Like, I probably wouldn't buy my first house until I'm like 32, supposed to was 22. So that's a benefit of the military. Being there, it was very different. So being stationed overseas, first of all, like, you don't get a real sense of what the military is or the Air Force was for me. Like, everybody in Germany was like so family oriented. It was like no clique, like everybody, you know, took you in, showed you the ropes. Like, it was very like family oriented, like a family vibe. Like, these people became your family because you're in a country overseas, you're in a foreign, you don't, everybody doesn't speak the language. Like, I didn't learn German while I was there, so like the military people, the Americans that you are there with, like, you know, you become close with them. In the States, it's totally different. Everybody speaks English, like, you're American just like everybody else. So like, people have their own cliques, they go home to their families. Like, it was so different for me. So like, the first, I would say, year or so, like, it wasn't, I didn't really hang out with that many people. I did have a cousin there who still lives there now, who I linked up with, so like, that was cool. But other than that, like, I just went to work and worked out. I was really skinny, like, my first year there. Like, I was tiny, like 140. I'm not gonna tell you what I am now, but I was tiny. Yeah, so like, it was very different for me. And the people that I was working with, they didn't like take you under their wing as much as the people in Germany did. Like, there was a point where I was ready to get out. Like, I did not like my leadership. So that will happen. There will be people that you have to tolerate. There will be people who will push you to your limits. There will be people who will make you say, F this, I don't want to do this no more, I'm getting out. And I was definitely there. I was talking to the in-service recruiter while I was in Florida, like trying to like palace chase to get out early. Granted, there were a lot of things, other things that I was involved in too while I was there. Like, I was introduced to network marketing while I was in Florida. So that was something that kind of pushed me to the idea, okay, well, if I get good at this thing, doing this network marketing company that I was doing at the time, I don't need the Air Force. I can just get out, I can make money doing this and, you know, get out the Air Force. It was a rough patch at one point. It was very rough. So for me, what basically led me to stay in, made me decide to stay in, is that I applied for a job to be an airman dorm leader. And basically what that is like the airmen who live in the dorms. Me as an NCO at the time, I had to put on a staff sergeant as soon as I got to Florida. You basically, they call it the dorm moms, but you basically like the facility manager. You check people into the dorms, make sure the dorms are good, make sure the facilities are good. We have that in the Air Force. I don't know if they have those in other branches, but that's definitely like a special duty that you can do in the Air Force, and I did that. And that, oh my gosh, that saved me. If I didn't become an airman dorm leader, I probably would not be in the military right now, because I did not like the people that I was working for beforehand. So I did the ADL, airman dorm leader job, for 2 years while I was in Florida. And right when I was about to leave the ADL job to go to the comm squadron, which was a different unit than I was before, I had got orders to Korea. So when I was in Germany, I heard about Korea, a whole bunch of good stories about Korea. Everybody loved Korea. There was like, if you're married there, if you're married, you probably don't want to go right now because people get crazy in Korea. But anywho, I had got orders to Korea right before I was leaving the ADL job. So that was I got those orders in February to leave in December. So I left the ADL job in March. So from March to December, I did my regular comm job, but basically I was out processing so I can go to Korea. And Korea, which was my third base, I arrived there in December of 2017. And immediately I fell in love. Like, the love was so real. Like I said, like, people overseas, like, they bring you in. It's like a family. The love was so real as soon as I got to Korea. So I loved it. Like, the people that I met were amazing. It was only supposed to be 1 year. I was going to do 1 year in Korea, and I applied for my following one. My following was going to be Germany because I had loved Germany so much. So I was going to do 1 year in Korea and then go to Germany for 2 years. That didn't happen, but I'll get into that. But Korea was like amazing. The unit that I was working for, I loved it. The people that I met, I loved it. I was able to stay off base there in Korea, and the apartments there are so nice. Like, I loved everything about it. I didn't have to have a car there. I had sold my car, or got rid of my, basically turned my car in for a lease and got out of the lease before I had left Florida. So once I got to Korea, like, it was cold. First of all, I got there in December. Coming from Florida to Korea, whew, It was cold, but I was buying. I made sure I bought a coat before I left, and I love that coat. It's like fur and everything, olive, like it's really cute. But my first pair of Uggs, never needed Uggs before. Like I was like, I'm good. Like I can withstand this cold. So Korea was amazing, and while I was there, I was able to travel too. So that was my first time being in Asia, because my first base was, in Europe. So while I was in Korea, I went to Guam, I went to the Philippines, I ended up going to Thailand and Bali while I was there, like right before I left. I met so many great people. I love the food there, was amazing. I have some best friends now who are Korean, so like it was a really good tour for me. I did 2 years because I loved it so much, and they pay you extra. If you're in Air Force, there's something called CAPE. It's a Korean assignment incentive pay, where they pay you an extra $300 a month. It wasn't bad for me, guys. Granted, you do a lot of exercises and stuff like that while you're over there, but you can get through it. Like the fun definitely makes up for it, but it can get old fast as well if you only stick to the things there. I was at Ulsan Air Base, which is one of the better bases in Korea, I would say. But you have to get out and do things. Like I explored Korea. I went to Jeju Island. I love Seoul. That's one of my favorite cities in the world, if not my favorite at this moment. A lot of different stuff. Like I have a blog, and you can see some of the pictures on my IG also, but I'll leave the links for those below. But yeah, Korea was awesome. So I did that for 2 years, and while I was there, I applied for my follow-on base since it got canceled from Germany, since I decided to stay there 2 years, and I ended up getting Greece. So I'm back in Europe, but not in Germany, in Greece. And Greece is cool. It's very different than Germany. People ask me like, how do you like Greece? Well, first of all, I've been here it's April now, and I got here in January. So I've been here for a little, like 3 months. Yeah, pretty much, yep, 3 months now. And half the time that I've been here, like the last month, I haven't worked because of this pandemic that's going on, coronavirus. So I haven't worked. I've been teleworking, and I also didn't really get to see much of the island. I'm on the island of Crete, the island, because when I first got here, I didn't know anybody, didn't know much people. We would go out. They have like this little alley area, excuse me, that you can go to. But my bad. But it was, I didn't see that much when I first got here, but I know it's beautiful though. Like I did drive around a little bit. I got to see the area. It's so pretty out here, and I'm mad that I'm low-key stuck in the house because I can't go explore Greece. I'm actually supposed to be in Dublin, Ireland right now. Me and my friend, we planned a trip to go there, but that had to get canceled. But Greece so far has been amazing. So 10 years in, this is my 3rd country being stationed in, my 4th base. Yes, my 4th base. I now have my bachelor's degree. I got my bachelor's last year. I completed that. I'm just enrolled now into my master's program, so I'm going to get my master's while I'm still in. And this is stuff that I've been able to do and has been afforded to me because I decided to join the military in the Air Force. So if you are deciding to do that, or you're thinking about doing that, if you have any questions, drop them below in the comments.